with all due respect, with all due respect, with all due respect, with all due respect, with all due respect.
This is the With All Due Respect Podcast presented by Mo Knows with your girl, Lady Simone, Mr. McFly, and me, your main man, Mo. We have another artist here from under the Allegiance umbrella, Miss Priscilla, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well in yourself.
I woke up this morning. God will, I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. God will. Miss Priscilla, what is it that you offer the Allegiance? As in, I'm guessing you're a singer, rapper, something of that nature, right?
Yes, I'm a singer.
Okay, so what is it that you're bringing outside just, I mean, I think we got a lot of singers and songwriters, so what is it that you're bringing? What do you think that is Kevin and his team saw in you to be like, you know what, we want her to rock with us?
Well, I would like to say my voice, I have a jazz influence. Not too many of my friends, I don't believe listen to jazz, but I have a heavy jazz influence. Priscilla Simone, Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, Count Basie. I played in the band, so I have a different ear for music.
You have a lot of different musical influences because our typical peer base, most people know none of those names that you just listed.
Yeah.
They ring a bell to me, but if you like, this is, I don't know whose song this is, but I know their names.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, those are VIP lists just now, jazz, for sure. And with that, again, I know you went to high school, shout out to Georgetown High.
Yeah.
I know you were writing and doing music ever since back then, like you said, you was in the band. So, what you kept going with it, getting down this path, like 10 plus years later, you're still writing, clearly still going it. Would you say this is like your passion or something you're great at?
Definitely a passion for myself. Writing is just a release. You know, music is a release, and I just do it. It's kind of like therapy for myself, you know, and hopefully it touches others and it can be therapy for others.
When was that moment that you got to when you say, you know what, this is what I want to do? Like, I want to actually make music for people to hear. Because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we get in a space to where we write, you know what I'm saying, you can do all kind of stuff, but it's like you keep it to yourself because, like you say, it's your therapy. But at what point did you want to say, you know what, I'm going to release this to the world because somebody else got to feel this?
I can't remember the exact moment. I think it was 2006. It might have been 2007, but Georgetown High, we had a gong show. And
Classics.
And like, that was my first time performing in front of people, but it was a song that I wrote. I would write poetry, you know, for myself, but I never thought to put it to music. And I did a song over the Jay-Z Dead Summer beat, and I sang it for the gong show, and I didn't win, but to this day, I had somebody legit hit me on Facebook like, yo, Dead Summer song ain't playing on MySpace no more, like, you got to put that back out, like, and I'm like, MySpace, you know, I done forgot about MySpace, but like, to know that my high school peers are still listening, checking for my songs on MySpace, you know.
So what is the piece of that? Like, can you give us a piece of that?
I'll be honest, I was definitely going to ask you to blow something, like can we hear something?
I don't know if I can remember. I can remember like the first few words. My heart it beats just for your love, vibrating thing, the Lord above. If you just wait a second more, I'll give you what you're waiting for. And that's all I remember.
Beautiful voice. Beautiful voice.
Say this, the gong show, we were rough. We wanted to
gong. It definitely was a tough crowd.
We used to come in like, yo, gong show today? Oh, we come to school saucy, just to gong you. Extra power to it. So she made it through that. It had to be dope.
With Neo Soul having its own particular lane that's not really highly populated, right? We know R&B is where everybody wants to go, and even that hybrid between rapping and the Drake type of feel, right? Post Malone. Have you ever felt pressure to actually like, let me get in this lane a little bit just to get my buzz up, then I'm gonna bring them on back to where I'm at?
Well, I me myself personally, I can say that I have done that. You know, like I said, coming from a jazz influence, I knew my peers aren't listening to jazz and not familiar with that. So, like, I felt like I had to go out of my way to get those hard boom bap, hip hop songs, those hip hop instrumentals, and then write my R&B on top of that to kind of fuse the two genres so that, you know, you might be a hardcore hip hop listener, but if you hear my music, you're gonna rock with it. Just because I decided to fuse those two things that might not necessarily you wouldn't think to put them together, but I've done that, for the sake of getting people to listen. And then I have my songs that you can listen to that is jazz all day, So it kind of it expands my listening base so that people who might not necessarily decide to listen to jazz, they still get that from listening and could possibly put them on to listening to jazz in general.
Were your family, are they musicians? Did they play jazz a lot around the house growing up? I'm curious to see what made you gravitate towards jazz.
Actually, I was brought up in a very strict church background, so like I couldn't even listen to BET. I couldn't watch BET growing up. Couldn't listen to hip hop or whatever. But it was my uncle. My uncle was an artist, and he had all of the old school, like the hip hop in its inception, like LL Cool J, Kool Moe Dee, like he was a breaker. And whenever he would paint in his shop, he would play those music, he would play those songs, and that's how we would get, to listen to it. And the jazz influence, my mother named me Simone for my middle name because she was a fan of Nina Simone. So, that comes
set up for this.
Yeah, that comes into play. And I guess like Billie Holiday, it was just, I don't know what, I can't recall my first time hearing a Billie Holiday song, but Billie Holiday, specifically was an influence because when I heard her, like, in her time, you had artists like Ella Fitzgerald who vocally, she's a vocal beast. I don't know anybody to this day that can do vocally what Ella Fitzgerald was able to do. But Billie Holiday sang the same song, but she sang it in a different way. She sang notes that might not have been pretty in that time, but she sang notes the way you could feel it. And to me, music is such a universal, it is the universal language because it doesn't matter what words you're saying, what language you're speaking in, but you can feel it nonetheless. And I think that's the artistry, that's the inspiration. Billie Holiday could make you feel the song. She sang blue notes that would bend, it would, like, looking at it musically, it bends out of key, but she brings it back into where it's still, and it hits that chord. Now, I guess I'm a musician, so I don't know if y'all really feel what I'm saying, but I hear music on different levels, not just from being a vocalist, but I hear the instrumentation as well.
And we spoke about that earlier, me and McFly, we spoke about that earlier. We're real big music fans over here, and we know you hear something different than we hear because you're the artist and also you're a musician, just as well as Kev right here, he's a producer. He's going to hear something that we don't hear that we may very well overlook. So I definitely respect y'all opinions and y'all take on certain songs. For you to actually dissect jazz like that, because jazz is such an emotionally based.
It might not have no words.
Yeah,
Feeling, just the vibe, you gotta capture that.
And when you said that, first thing popped in my mind, I felt it. Meek Mills did a project where it was like, who else was on that song? It was off the, we was last year, December, 2 years ago. He did a jazz-based song, like a.
I know you're talking about.
I think it was 21 Savage was on it with it, wasn't it?
No, that's what you're talking about.
When you said that, that's the first thing that popped in my mind. I felt the jazz. Disregard what you said. It was the boom.
Yeah.
That's real good.
It gives you a feeling. This plays like then also jazz is like one of the genres that's almost dying off.
Yeah.
So again, we do need that research and stuff because again, a lot of things within the blues, jazz, R&B, that's kind of the core of it all, where it came from. So again, people like us already need to be educated on that. Get the origin up. So yeah, I think that's definitely good to keep bringing that jazz and funk into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And my thing is, hands down, can you tell me what is the best performance you've done so far that you can think of? Like, just, no matter what the platform was, what, like, you felt good when you came off the stage, like, yo, that was it right there.
I would have to say it was an event that the Culture Council of Georgetown did. And I was able to sing jazz with some professional musicians I had never performed with before. But I sang Summertime. And at the end of that performance, like, I had this Asian lady come up to me, like, showing me her goosebumps that she got from my performance. And, like, I love live music, I love great production, but it's nothing like live music.
We say that all the time.
And so I had a man on the bass playing, you know, plucking that bass. I had a pianist, I had a saxophonist with me, like, and it was beautiful. So, like, for her to come in, like, you know, oh my gosh, I never heard something like that before.
Yeah. Do you think you spaced out in that performance? Like,
Yeah,
it took you somewhere?
I would have to say that I did, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because even the musicians, like, they were older people, and I remember the bassist telling me, like, it was like, when you sang, we knew where you were going, and you know, you didn't have to signal, you just could feel where you were going.
Yeah.
Like, that's special.
Well, Priscilla, we appreciate you sitting down with us. We don't want to hold you up because as you can hear in the background, the events are going on. We don't want you to miss that. But before we go, can you shout out your sites and the platform for it?
Social media.
Well, I'm Priscilla Simone on Facebook, Priscilla Simone on SoundCloud, and my last project, Carolina Gold, my mixtape is on SoundCloud. You can look forward to the release coming out on all platforms, and I'm looking forward to pushing that out on February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Okay, we'll make sure that we tag her as well, so you can follow her.
Yes.
Well, social media.
Well, we appreciate your time again. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. This is the With All Due Respect podcast presented by Mo Knows with your girl, Lady Simone, Mr. McFly, and me, the main man, Mo, and our guest, Miss Priscilla. We thank you again. All right, have a good day.